Grand Slam channel. Today is Thursday, November 16. We have Thursday night football between the Ravens and the Bengals. For NBA slate, not much. There's only 2 games going on. I'll have my video out later. Not sure if I'm going to do the latter day challenge, giving the few props that are on the board. Quick recap of yesterday, we did not hit on that, unfortunately. But let's get started. I do have a good 5-man for NFL. And my favorite one will be Joe Burrow. And for him, there are several props. His fantasy and his pass and rushing yards are good. But for this one, I'll be taking his passing yards. I think he's going to have well over 300 in this primetime game against the Ravens. Both top teams in the AFC. So I think Joe Burrow's going to go off and have over 300 yards on this one. Next up, we're going to go straight to fantasy. And first one that pops up to mind is Odell Beckham at 5.5. That is way low for a primetime player and Odell Beckham. But he hasn't been used as much in Baltimore as in other teams. His reception is probably the lowest I've ever seen it at 2. I mean, you can take that. It's obviously good value. And his receiving yards. But I'm going to be taking his fantasy score at 5.5. I mean, if he gets a touchdown, he has a 10-yard touchdown. I mean, that will probably be a cash. But I think he's going to go well over 30 yards. So his receiving yards are good to take as well. But I'll be sticking to his fantasy score. Next up for his fantasy score, I'll be taking Tyler Boyd, one of the top wide receivers for Cincinnati. And I'll be taking his fantasy score at 10.5. He was at 10 earlier in the day. I still like it. I think he's going to have about 12 13 fantasy points. If he has a touchdown, he'll probably go way over 10.5. His receiving yards would probably be my second option. We're going to move on to rushing attempts. And I'm going to be taking Gus Edwards. I believe he's still at 11. I like the push equity. He's been cashing this line the past 6 games. In his last game, he did push. He did have 11 rushing attempts. It's a bit of a gamble. Obviously, this is gambling, but with Lamar Jackson as your QB, who gets about 10 to 15 rushing attempts himself, it kind of takes away Gus Edwards' attempts. But I like this matchup. I think Gus Edwards will get more than 11 rushing attempts, so I'll be taking no more on that. And my last one will be Justice Hill. Obviously, the secondary running back for the Ravens. At 10.5, that's good value. I mean, all he needs is about 2-3 rushing attempts, and he should cash this. As you can see, his past couple of games, and he's gotten well over 10 yards. He didn't get the 10 yards or 11 yards against Cleveland, but obviously not every player can excel in each single game. They are going to have their regressions, but I think Justice Hill will go over 11 yards. And those are the 5 I'll be going with for Thursday night football. Joe Burrow over passing yards, Odell Beckham over fantasy, Tyler Boyd over fantasy, Gus Edwards over rushing attempts, and Justice Hill over rushing yards. So mix and match, pick your favorite. You don't have to tell all 5. Just pick your favorite. Just mix and match. Good luck. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate the support. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. See you guys in a couple hours in the next video for NBA.